Good day, viewers. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy the news today. Please feel free to share what you think and feel. Please don't forget to like, share, comment.
I think Zimbabweans, first of all, need to understand that Zimbabwe is not a province of South Africa. Therefore, this entitlement that they have to South Africa is sickening, first of all. We just have to make that clear. Because the more our government keeps nursing Zimbabweans and making them feel like they have some rights in this country, is the reason why they feel that they have bigger rights than South Africans. It makes them invasive, it makes them intrusive, it makes them entitled. Corruption in South Africa has nothing to do with Zimbabweans. Zimbabweans at the moment should be fighting Nangwangwe, who's going for another term in his country and their country. But you'll never hear them talk about that. You'll hear them talking about South Africa and corruption in South Africa and problems in South Africa and immigrating in South Africa and being incorporated in and integrated into South Africa. That's not what a person who loves their country does. A person who loves their country goes to their country and fights for their country to be a proper functioning country. South Africans died in millions for this country to be standing here today. Now that was not a death in vain for Zimbabweans to come and walk in and have a free pass to this country. It was for South Africans to enjoy their country where they had been told there are places that they're not able to go to as black people. They can't keep telling us we are all black people, therefore they can all just come into the country and do what they wish and do as they please. That freedom was not for Zimbabweans. That freedom was for South Africans. And when there's a constitution, it was for South Africans to live together, black, white, orange, and pink. Now you have Zimbabweans telling us how South Africa should be ran, but they can't tell their own government that because they feel like they're here to be free and to have everything that they want. And that's exactly why we have a problem with illegal immigrants. They come here because our laws allow them to. You know, our country is a country that wants to give everyone freedom, which is not how a country functions. We've got a constitution, and in that constitution there's an immigration act. But people don't focus on the immigration act because they want to tell us that there's everyone, and the constitution is talking about everyone. There's no constitution in the world that contradicts itself. Why would the South African contradict itself by talking about everyone and talk about an immigration act? Because the immigration act says people who are not South African are to be deported and taken out of this country. It doesn't say that those people must come into the country and have rights to jobs and have rights to healthcare and what. That is not what the immigration act says. And the reason we have entitled people like Dube here is because the men of Zimbabwe have become cowards and they no longer want to fight for Zimbabwe, they want to fight for South Africa. Whether there's Operation Dudula or March in March is none of Zimbabweans' business. Their job is to fix their country. That is their job. And you can't tell me that before people used to walk around. That is because there were not millions and millions and trillions of them coming into the country illegally. Now Zimbabweans, every minute someone in Zimbabwe has a problem, the solution is to come to South Africa. What kind of solution is that? Who's staying behind in Zimbabwe? Who's fixing that country? Their ancestors are calling them now to go home, and we are helping them to go back home. That's what we're doing. We are helping their ancestors, and their ancestors are helping us to take.
Foreigners don't pay tax, so they shouldn't use our public hospitals. That lie gives...
Okay, since you decided to tag me on this video, it clearly means you want me to reply to you, or you want my reply. Now, my guy, you're talking to us about VAT, and you want to make us believe that illegal immigrants pay VAT, therefore they have some sort of major contribution that they're making to the country. When you exclude the fact that South Africa pays 10 different types of taxes, of which illegal immigrants cannot contribute to them because they're not even registered in South Africa. They don't belong in South Africa. They are like non-existent, basically, because we don't know who they are. We don't have their background. They come from all over the world to come to South Africa. Then you come and you tell us that we are being xenophobic because we are raising a concern that you can't have millions of people coming into your country and you don't know who they are and they're undocumented, etc. So you tell me, when a person from outside of South Africa comes and they commit crime, as they have been constantly doing, we've seen them on television plenty of times, Kosi Zoktola, ex-Depot, whatever the case may be, and they commit crimes in South Africa. And then you tell me that those people are poor blacks or black Africans, because I think it gives you some sort of satisfaction to label everyone who is an illegal immigrant as poor. Then you come and tell us that those people are coming here and they should be allowed here because they are poor and they're black. You tell me, how do we manage crime when it comes to a person that we don't know who they are, we don't know their history, as we've seen Mozambican drug lords who are kidnapping kingpins from Mozambique coming here to South Africa, being found to be living here. We found that there's people who are assassins in their own country and they come here and they commit crimes. We've seen illegal mining thriving in South Africa, where there's hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants who are undocumented and they're coming to the country and they're doing that. And you're saying these are poor black Africans that we should just ignore because we're being petty. Top of that, you come and you tell us that in our clinics we don't have a right to say anything when it comes to that because we're going to hide behind tax. All right, let's remove the tax. And you tell me now, when there's Africans coming all over from Africa to come and collect medication and take that medication and go to their different countries and give it to different people, well, South Africans are complaining daily that they don't have medication. But of course, you wouldn't know this because you've never gone to a public clinic and listened to the stories of South Africans, have you? It's nice to sit on the internet and do videos of something you have absolutely no experience of, because, I mean, you want to trend, right? You want to sound right. You want to sound politically correct. But now you tell me, if you're such a good guy, if you're such an amazing person, why don't you take all these illegal immigrants, or maybe 5 or 4 or 3 of them, bring them to your house, you don't know them, and live with them, right? But of course you wouldn't do that because you wouldn't even know that we've been getting hundreds of people from, actually thousands of people from South Africa who've done the same thing. They've taken illegal immigrants in, and you know what they did? They hijacked their homes and chucked them out, or they killed them in order to take over the home and own it. You wouldn't know this, would you? Because, I mean, everyone is xenophobic. You are Mr. Nice Guy. Right. Now, on top of that, we've had schools where children who are South Africans are not able to access schools because there are plenty of illegal immigrants that are in the country. But of course, everyone is poor. So why should South Africans get access to schools when we are supposed to be thinking about the rest of Africa, my guy? That's what you're saying, right? It's funny because people like you who want to be all smart and woke and whatever hardly ever consider the flip side of the coin. It's always about your beliefs and your thoughts. I challenge you to come to one clinic or one hospital and listen to the grannies who have been standing in hours for queues in queues the whole day trying to get medication, and they're not able to access it because medication is finished. You know why? Because they're selling it in their own countries. You know why? Because these poor people that you're advocating for don't even care about South Africans. They're here to make a business or do whatever that they want. But you are here on the internet because anyone on the internet can come and record without even having a single bit of experience about something. So I challenge you, my guy, if any of what you're saying is true and you can stand by it, come with us to one clinic or hospital and listen to the stories of South Africans who have suffered because of illegal immigrants, who are not able to access healthcare, who are not able to get medication, who give birth on the floor, who are not given a bed, and there's 10, 12, 13 illegal immigrants who need to come here and get whatever it is that South Africans are entitled for and should be getting. I challenge you to do that. Until you do that, don't record another video, don't reply to me, because you're talking about something that you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. So what am I going to be talking to you about? About internet hype? I'm not here for the internet here. We are here to change South Africa, because there are people in South Africa with real stories, not internet things that you will hype for 5 minutes. Come to the real world. Come to the real world. What is so important about being South African? What a question. Very interesting question indeed. And I think this is a question you're probably not serious when you're asking this. You're probably just asking it because you want someone to give you an answer, and I'll give you an answer. Being South African is so beautiful because we're from a country of people who are resilient. Who, when we're unhappy about something, we actually stand up for it and we fight for it. We don't rush to other people's countries to flock there. We know how to exercise our democracy when it's time to exercise our democracy. And when it's time to stand together as South Africans, no matter how many differences we can have
50,000 different races. But when it's time to defend South Africa, South Africans will come through. Of course, we are different, and we know that there are South Africans who always throw us under the bus because they want to sound woke. But that's okay, because at the end of the day, it doesn't take anything from the majority of South Africans. South Africa is rated as one of the most beautiful countries in the world. South Africa's economy is mentioned amongst the best in the world. South Africa has produced the richest man in the world. South Africa, in terms of sports, is one of the biggest sporting countries in the world. In terms of music, South Africa is one of the biggest music countries in the world. In terms of producing actors and actresses that take over the global stage, South Africa is trusted with doing that. In terms of being able to create a system that has the best education in the world, South Africa is trusted with doing that. That's why we'll have all kinds of countries come and have exchange with South Africa to come here and study and so forth, because we're South Africa. I mean, South Africa has some of the most beautiful women in the world. South Africa has some of the strongest men in the world who know what it's like to wake up every morning and work hard. South Africa is ranked as one of the best travel destinations in the world. That is South Africa. South Africa has some of the highest rankings in all the beauty pageants in the world. Miss World, Miss Universe, South Africa is there. South Africa is multi-diverse, and even through our diversity, one thing that will unite us is the fact that we're South African. So everything put aside, we will fight with each other, we will scrape each other, but when it's time to stand up for South Africa, we stand up for South Africa. It's just a pity that we've got a democracy that allows people to come to South Africa and do as the people wish, because I mean, we're a country that's been too friendly, too kind, and too welcoming to people, to the point that they felt that they're entitled to certain things that belong to South Africans. And when South Africans finally decided that it's time for us now to stand up for what is ours, because we're going to end up losing everything that belongs to us, then South Africa became xenophobic. That's how South Africa became xenophobic. When we said it's no longer South Africa for free for all, it's South Africa for South Africans, then South Africa became xenophobic. So if you ask me what is so special about South Africa, everything. And I mean everything is special about South Africa, from the smallest of things to the biggest of things. Yes, we're not saying that we're a perfect country. We've got our own issues and our own problems, but it takes nothing away from who we are. And who we are is a nation of people who are proud of who they are. It's a nation of people who will never run away to run away from their problems. Instead, we always face our problems head on, and we always tackle them. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing now, in making sure that we keep South Africa for South Africans. And we're going to fight that until the bitter end, because it's time now that South Africa is the big nation, the proud nation that it is, instead of a nation where everyone can come and do as they please and then turn around and feel like they're entitled to what South Africans should have. We only have one South Africa, and it belongs to us. And that's why being a South African is such a flex. Love you, South Africa.
Hi guys. So this video is very important to me, because I need for us as South Africans to really take this seriously. You know, this fight that we're currently in, Yama illegal immigrants, is not just a fight of getting illegal immigrants out of the country. It's way deeper than that. It's actually a fight for our dignity. And anyone who knows how deep this issue of my illegal immigrants, I'm not talking about the ignorant people who want to sound good for social media. I'm talking about people who know just how bad the issue is. They'll tell you that akekho umuntu kufanele angene kwakho, and when they get to your house, bakudelele. You know, you welcome someone into your home,
and then they start feeling like they are more powerful than you are. Then they start mistreating you and making you feel like you're the one that's supposed to leave your house. And I'm talking about this not only in hypothetical terms, but I'm talking about it in practical terms, because we've seen how many buildings have been hijacked by illegal immigrants. We've seen how many houses have been taken over by illegal immigrants, and it continues. Now, you know why it continues. It continues because they've become more and more comfortable, and when they become more and more comfortable, they become braver and braver and braver. Now, here's where the issue of dignity comes the most. What are we going to tell our children when one day these very same people are able to tell us these things that they always say to us on social media, and sometimes they even say it to our faces, and they say it to us in real life, and they are dominating us in numbers? You as a South African are going to be told by someone from somewhere that you don't know, they don't have an identity, nobody knows who they are, but they're occupying jobs, they're occupying spaces, health facilities, schools, etc., etc. And they tell them that, listen, when we vila, you're lazy, you are not a hard worker, our men are better than you, your women love us more than they love you. Oh, this country belongs to us and we're going to take over it. And all of the things that they always say, all the provocative things that they always say, and they become braver and braver and braver to say them to us every single day, to our faces. Our children are there and they're going to watch us fail to protect them and fail to protect ourselves from these people whose language we don't even know, whose names and identities we don't even know. They're going to overpopulate. They're going to take over. They're going to have villages. They're going to start fighting their fights with each other. And we're going to be a non-factor. And you know why we're going to be a non-factor? Because they would have taken all our power away from us. They're going to tell us that if we try to speak out, we're xenophobic. If we try to speak out, it's because we hate ourselves because we're black. If we try to speak out, it's because we don't have a right to tell them what to do because Africa is for African. Meanwhile, the countries that have serious leaders are taking their leadership back, and they're taking their countries back, and they're taking their pride back, and they're taking their dignity back. Because this is not just only about territory, it's not about country, it's about identity, it's about who we are as South Africans. We're slowly being diluted, slowly being replaced. And the problem with that is these people are becoming more and more and more arrogant. But you see, the thing for me that just worries me when I think about illegal immigrants and when they come and they start sharing things on social media and they start calling us names and saying all these things, is I ask myself, for themselves, what is your plan? So you're an illegal immigrant, you come to the comment section and you start telling South Africans that they're lazy, God is going to punish them, you're not going anywhere, this is my country too, Africa for Africans. You start calling us names in this video. Trust me, you'll find the comments, they're going to come, because that's all that they do, that's all that they're good at, that's all that they know. If you ask them to go and do that in their own country, they're never going to be that brave. What does that tell you about South Africa? We've become a playground and we've lost our dignity. Bayakwazi as they wish in our country, but the things they do in this country, they won't do in their own country. What does that tell you? Does that speak of a country with pride and dignity and can stand in front of the world and be proud of protecting its people? So South Africans, I urge you once again, as I will keep on urging you, that don't sit on your phones now and think this is a fight that you're going to win behind your phone. It's a fight that requires each and every one of us to stand up and fight, because we're not only just fighting illegal immigrants, we're fighting a system of corruption that has been beneficial to some people, whether at Home Affairs or the police or politicians or whatever, who have been benefiting from these people, even employees who can rip them off and pay them peanuts and then they get to save us so much money. So we're fighting a whole entire corrupt system that requires us to save ourselves because clearly we've got nobody else that's coming to save us. And I promise you, if you sit on your cell phones the whole day and think you're going to win this, you're not going to win this. We saw Kenyans do it. We saw Ghanaians doing it right now. What are we waiting for? Even the president of Tanzania right now decided that she's going to put her people first. We clearly don't have leaders that want to put us first. So who are we expecting to do it for us? We've seen Operation Dudula. We've seen March and March. We see patriots on the ground, Patriotic Alliance and other political parties, the IFP, MMC working so hard. I see also even the AFF, MMC, people and individuals have taken the call and heeded the call to stand up and fight for this country. What are you doing about it to regain the dignity of this country? Telling us in our country when they are not respecting the laws of this country. Yes, we are brothers and sisters because we are in the same continent, but it doesn't mean you must disrespect us because we respect your countries. Why can't you respect ours? Clearly, it's because we've lost our dignity, and we blame our leaders. We blame all the people who've corrupted this country. You are to blame.